Hey there, in today's practice, we're going to work on lengthening the sides of the body. So think everything from the side of the neck, side of the ribs, side of the hip, all the way down to the side of the foot. And to do this, we need to do side bending. And so in your side bending, a lot of times I find individuals will drop their top shoulder down towards the floor. So a common cue you're going to hear today is to rotate the chest and try to point the top shoulder up towards the ceiling. If that means you need to back out and change the depth of your pose so that you can get that, you're going to get the best side bending. And so maybe explore that a little bit more today. You'll want blanket or a towel and some type of prop to lift the floor up just in case you need it. The poses that we're going to work on today are triangle pose or Trikonasana, Warrior II or Virabhadrasana II, as well as extended side angle or Parsvakonasana. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. You're welcome to sit up on a blanket if you'd like. And the blanket close to the hips, finding your best version of a comfortable seat, however that may look like for you. And then when you're ready, you'll rest the hands somewhere along the legs. You might inhale to sit tall, exhale to relax the shoulders down away from the ears, and maybe you close the eyes or gently gaze down at the nose. You'll start to check in to see if you need to add any other props or change the position of this pose so that we can start to turn the focus inwards. So at first you might start to notice how the hips are contacting the ground. Does it feel like you're leaning more to the left or to the right? Or are you about in the center? Next, you might start to notice the rate of your breath. Is it fast or slow? And are you breathing into the chest, the belly, or both? Next, you'll bring your awareness to the body to see how it feels in this moment. You might scan from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes, checking in with each area. And as you make your way through each area, you might find areas that feel a little bit more tense or uncomfortable, and others that maybe feel a little bit more relaxed or at ease. Reminder that one of these is not necessarily better than the other. It's just a reflection of how you move throughout your day. When you're ready, you'll bring your awareness to the mind to reflect on any thoughts that have come up so far in your practice or your day. Has the mind been racing with thoughts, or has it been a little bit more calm? Do the thoughts revolve around a certain topic? And do the thoughts like to linger, or can you easily let them go? We'll take one deep breath together where you inhale for 4. Then you'll open the mouth and let out a nice on the exhale. You can imagine yourself releasing something that you don't want to carry into your practice. So when you're ready, you'll inhale for 4. Breathe deep into the belly. 3. Feel the ribs expand out to the side. 2. Sip in the last bit of air. 1. Open the mouth. Exhale. Slowly start to lower the chin down towards the chest. Roll the right ear over the right shoulder. Stay here. Use an exhale to pull the left shoulder down and slightly back behind you. Breathe into the left side of the neck. This can be where you stay, or you'll inhale, take the right hand up and over to the left side of the head. If you need a little bit more, maybe you take the left fingertips towards the floor and crawl them away from the body, maybe even slightly back behind you. Wherever you've chosen, you have 4 deep breaths here, noticing how left side of the neck and left upper arm feel. Next, exhale, take the hands down towards the legs, roll the chin towards the center, and then left ear over left shoulder. You can stay here, use an exhale to pull the right shoulder down and slightly back behind you. If you need a little bit more, you'll inhale, take the left hand up and over to the right side of the head. Exhale, pull that right shoulder down, maybe even a little bit more. Right hand can stay on the legs, or maybe you take the right fingertips towards the floor and crawl them further away from the body. 3 to 4 breaths wherever you are. Breathing deeply into the right side of the neck and right upper arm. Next, exhale, you'll take the hands down towards the legs, roll the chin towards the center, leave it there. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together tight, and then down towards the hips. One more, inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together tight, and then down towards the hips. You'll slowly start to blink the eyes open if they were still closed. And you're welcome to stay seated on the blanket here if you'd like, or you can pull it out to the side. Straighten the right leg forward, right toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale, draw the left foot, left knee up towards the ceiling, left foot in front of left hip. Hug the left knee in tight. Inhale, sit tall. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to start to set up for a twist. In this position, this can be considered a prep version for Virabhadrasana II. So you'll start by turning the chest towards the left knee. Hug it in tight. You can stay here if you already feel a nice stretch. Or you're going to take the left hand behind the body, right arm to the outside of the left leg, push the arm into the leg. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. Look back behind you. Try to keep right toes up towards the ceiling. Left knee in front of left hip. Last 2 breaths. Next, inhale, you'll rotate back towards the center. Drop the left knee out to the side, moving towards Janushirshasana or head to knee pose. Bring that left heel a little bit closer towards the right thigh. One hand on each side. You'll inhale, lift the chest. You can stay here if this is enough, just slight tuck of the chin towards the chest. Or to add, the forward fold to make the head go closer to the knee. You're gonna walk the hands forward, pull the chest forward towards the right toes. And then maybe relax the head down. Try to keep left hip, left knee heavy. 3 to 4 breaths here. Next, inhale, you'll walk the hands back towards the hips, moving towards revolved head to knee. Take the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Turn the chest all the way to point the heart towards the left knee. This might be where you stay. If this is enough, great. Or you're going to start to inhale, take left hand behind the head. Pull the left elbow back behind you a little bit more so that you can open up the chest so that if you were to look from above, your left elbow is in line with your right knee. Then, to add the side bend, you'll crawl the right fingertips down towards the right ankle, lower the right elbow down towards the floor, and inhale, rotate the chest one more time, left shoulder, left elbow up towards the ceiling. Relax the head here if you need. Last part of the pose, if you want to take it, is to reach left fingertips towards the right toes. Pick a variation that allows you to feel the best stretch on the left side of the body, from the left hip to the left armpit. 4 breaths here, using the inhale to really expand the left side of the ribs. Noticing maybe an increase in pressure as you inhale, and then exhale, seeing if you can relax into that side bend a little bit more. Next, inhale, pull yourself all the way up with the left hand. Turn the chest back towards the center or forward, and then you'll straighten the left leg out. Inhale, bring the right foot in front of the right hip, hug the right knee in tight. Bring the right foot as close as you can. Wrap the arms around the leg. Inhale, sit tall. Flex the left toes up towards the ceiling. Again, we're going to start to move towards that Virabhadrasana II prep. Okay, so first, start by rotating the chest towards the right knee. Maybe you wrap the left elbow around right knee. This can be where you stay. Or you're going to take the right hand behind the body, left arm to the outside of the right leg, push the left arm into the right leg, turn the chest towards the right, push the arm into the leg, inhale, sit tall, exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. Try to keep your right knee in line with the right hip. And you have 4 breaths here. Left toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale, slowly come back towards the center. Drop the right knee out to the side. Right foot somewhere on the inside of the left foot. Moving towards that head to knee pose or Janushasana first. So one hand on each side. Inhale, lift the chest. Remember, you can stay here with the hands closer to the hips if this is already intense for you. Just drop the chin towards the chest. To add the forward fold, you'll walk the hands forward towards the left ankle. Pull the chest forward towards the toes. Try to relax right knee towards the floor, or just encourage it to be heavy towards the ground. 4 breaths here. Again, you can tuck the chin towards the chest. With your next inhale, you'll start to walk the hands back towards the hips to lift the chest. Moving towards revolved head to knee. Turn the chest towards the right knee. Left hand somewhere on the inside of the left leg. If you already feel a stretch here, you can stay here. Otherwise, you'll start to inhale, take the right hand behind the head, pull the elbow back behind you to rotate the chest towards the right knee. You're welcome to stay here, or to add the side bend, crawl the left fingertips down towards the left ankle. Maybe you lower the left forearm down towards the floor. Remember, if you start to drop this right shoulder, right elbow towards the floor, and you look like this, you might want to straighten the arm so that you can pull the right shoulder back and open up the chest. Always welcome to reach right fingertips towards the left toes. Keep the right hip heavy, last 3 to 4 breaths here. Breathing into the right side of the body, between right hip and right armpit. Inhale, pull yourself all the way up with the right hand, and you'll start to cross at the ankles, come forward onto the hands and knees to find yourself in a tabletop position. So hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, push the tops of the feet into the floor. As you exhale, round the spine completely, tailbone down, chin to chest. And as you inhale, move towards looking up. Untuck the tailbone, drop the belly, the chest, and start to look up. You have 4 to 5 rounds here on your own, with your own breath, in your own time, moving as slow as you'd like here. Trying to push the boundary of your spine a little bit more each time. Seeing if things change when you push the feet and the hands down a little bit more. Just allowing yourself to explore different variations of each pose to find what works best for you today. We'll start to curl the toes under to stretch the bottom of the feet. Remember, hands can stay on the floor close to the knees. Sink the hips towards the heels. If this is already intense, stay here. You can lift the hands a little higher on blocks, or you're going to take them all the way up onto the thighs. Find one point to stare at. This is your focal point or your drishti. Trying to keep the eyes steady at this point while you keep the breaths long. Next, exhale, you'll take the hands down towards the floor, tap the tops of the feet out. If you have sensitive knees, I'm going to highly recommend you place some extra padding underneath the knees, just because we are going to be on the knees for a little bit to workshop a couple of different elements of the pose. So taking padding underneath the knees if you need it, you'll start to lift the chest. So coming into kneeling Parsvakonasana, take the left foot out to the side with the left toes forward. Shift the hips more forward into the right. You can tuck the right toes under here if you need. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, grab opposite elbows, pull the elbows high. Exhale, elbows go towards the left. Push the hips more forward into the right. And you can look up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor depending upon how the neck feels. Try to push down through the outside of the left foot. 3 breaths here. Next, inhale, you'll start to lift yourself all the way up. Relax the arms down on an exhale. Turn the left toes towards the left and bend the knee. So we're going to start by shifting forward and back here a couple of times. You want the left knee to go in line with the left toes. Back and forth. And then we're going to start to move towards a low version of your warrior two. So you're going to start to, and have a block nearby or a way to lift the floor up. But you're going to stack your left knee on top of the left ankle, rotate the chest towards the right. I guess that would be the right, or forward. And you'll try to push the hips forward, tuck the tailbone down towards the floor. Then inhale, reach the arms forward. So left hand in line with the left leg, right hand in the opposite direction. Gaze over the left fingertips. Actively push down through the left foot. This is a low or modified version of your warrior two. Tuck the tailbone down. We'll start to move towards a modified version of extended side angle. So left forearm to the left thigh, right hand to the right hip. Turn the chest so that the right shoulder can go back behind you. You can stay here if you already feel a stretch, or you're going to start to slide the left hand down. Maybe it can meet the floor, maybe it finds the ankle, or you can always take a block here. So remember, you want to pick a variation that allows this right shoulder to stay back. Push left foot down, push the hips more forward in the direction of the chest, and look up towards the ceiling or down towards the left foot, depending upon how this feels in the neck. Push the arm and the leg together. 3 to 4 deep breaths here. If you'd like, you can take the right hand up and overhead. Breathe into the right side of the body. Next, inhale, you'll start to pull yourself all the way up. Same thing, other side. So bring the left knee underneath the left hip. Step your right foot out to the side, starting with your kneeling Parsvakonasana. So toes in the same direction that the chest is pointing. Push down to the outside of the right foot. Then, inhale, reach the arms overhead. Grab opposite elbows. Maybe switch which forearm is in front. You can always curl your left toes under if you need more stability here. Push the hips more forward into the left. Inhale, reach elbows high. Exhale, elbows go towards the right foot. Breathe into the left side of the body. You can look up or down depending upon how the neck feels here. Last 2 breaths. Next, inhale, you'll start to lift yourself all the way up. Exhale to relax the hands down. Turn the right toes towards the right side. And again, we'll start to shift the knee in line with the toes and then back. Doing this a couple of times to figure out what feels best for the hips today. And then eventually you're going to stack right knee on top of the right ankle, best that you can. And then tuck the tailbone down so that you can push the hips more forward in the direction of the chest. Then you'll inhale, reach right arm over the right leg. Left hand back in the opposite direction. Turn the head to look over the right middle finger. Actively push down through the right foot. Engage the right glute. This is the low version of your warrior two on this side, or your Virabhadrasana II. Moving towards extended side angle, or the modified version on this side. So right forearm down to the right thigh, left hand to the left hip. You can stay here and turn the chest so that the left shoulder goes back behind you. Still think tailbone down, hips slightly forward. This can be where you stay. Or you're going to start to slide the right hand down, the right lower leg towards the floor. Maybe it meets the floor, maybe it only finds the ankle, or maybe it just finds a block or an object to lift the hand up so that you can keep this left shoulder back. You're welcome to stay in this position as well. Or you can inhale, reach left arm up and overhead. Maybe you gaze at the hand or down towards the right toes. Try to keep your left shoulder up towards the ceiling. Last 3 to 4 breaths here. Really lean the leg and the arm on the right side together. Breathing into the left side of the body. Next, inhale, you'll start to pull yourself all the way up with the left hand, and we'll start to make our way into a downward facing dog. You won't need the blanket anymore, so you're always welcome to take that off to the side. Move it out of the way. When you're ready for your downward facing dog, hands go down about shoulder width distance apart. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Maybe you pedal it out first, left, right, left, right. Relax the forehead so the head can go in line with the arms. Maybe you bend the knees here. You have 3 breaths. Remember, more important to lengthen out the back than it is to straighten the legs. With your next inhale, shift the weight more towards the right foot. Reach the left leg high. Look forward towards the hand. Step the left foot where the left hand is. Come into a crescent lunge. Inhale. Lift the chest. Arms can go overhead. Bend the right knee. Chandrasana. Really push down through that front foot. Now to open up into your warrior 2, become aware of where your right heel is in space. Turn the right heel down back behind you. Turn the chest so that they face the right toes. Reach the left hand forward, right hand back. Sink down into that front foot. Tuck the tailbone down. In this position, if you find your left knee is going in, you might need to walk the feet a little closer together. Maybe your right heel needs to come back so it's more in line with the left heel. Alignment can vary based on our own anatomy. But if the knee is going in, I want you to really squeeze your left glute, pull it out so that the left knee tracks with the left toes. Again, left hand forward, right hand back, shoulders away from the ears. Turn the head so that you can gaze over the left middle finger here. Last 3 to 4 breaths. Next, exhale, left hand comes down towards the left thigh, right hand to the right hip. Turn the chest so that right shoulder goes up towards the ceiling. This can be your version of extended side angle if you'd like it. Otherwise, you're going to start to slide left hand down towards the left ankle. Remember, if that shoulder starts to drop, you're going to try and lift the hand. And that can be at any height. So that right shoulder's up towards the ceiling, push down through the outside of the right foot. Left hand to the floor or block. Push the leg and the arm together, tailbone down towards the right heel. Inhale, maybe reach the right arm up and overhead. Welcome to look at the right fingertips. You have 4 breaths in this position or whatever position you have chosen for your extended side angle. Long, deep breaths. Moving towards triangle pose or Trikonasana. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Walk your right foot in just a little bit. Straighten the left leg. So another thing I find with triangle pose is most people will be like, yes, this is my triangle pose with the left hip really far back. Today I want you to try to push left foot down and allow this left hand to come up a little bit more on the left thigh so that you're trying to push your hips into a wall that's in front of you here. Rotate the chest, right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Then if you can go down more, then you're welcome to do that. Option to take right hand high to the sky. You might look up towards the right thumb or down towards the left big toe. Wherever you've chosen, push down through the right heel. Last 3 breaths. Next, exhale, take right hand down towards the floor. Step left foot back. Find a downward facing dog or a child's pose, wherever you'd like. If you're in a downward facing dog, pedal it out, left, right, left, right. Last 2 breaths in your downward facing dog. With your next inhale, shift a little bit more weight to the left foot. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Look forward, step the right foot where the right hand is. Stay on the left toes. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Find your crescent lunge on the right side. Stay on the left toes. Starting to move towards a warrior two. Rotate the left heel down, back behind you. Reach left hand back, right hand forward. Take a peek down at the right knee. If it's in, see if you can get the right knee in line with the right ankle and toes. Sink the hips down a little bit lower. Tuck the tailbone down towards the floor. Actively push down through that left foot. Turn the head to gaze over the right middle finger. Last 3 to 4 breaths here. Next, exhale, lower the right forearm down towards the right thigh, left hand to the left hip. Turn the chest so the left shoulder goes back behind you, left shoulder up towards the ceiling. Moving towards your version of extended side angle. So you can stay here with the right forearm on the right thigh, or you'll start to lower right forearm down towards the floor or a prop right in front of that right ankle. You want to pick a variation that allows you to keep left shoulder high, actively push down through that left heel. Maybe tuck the tailbone down towards the left heel. Left hand can stay on the hip, or you'll inhale, reach left hand up and overhead. Maybe you gaze at the left fingertips or down at the right toe. You have 4 breaths, breathing into the left side of the body. Next, exhale, left hand to the left hip, stretch to straighten the right leg. Walk your left heel in a little bit more. And again, you're trying to keep the right leg straight and push the right hips forward in the same direction as the chest. When you do this, the right hand might come off the block or your prop, and that's okay. Right hand can go somewhere along the right leg. Really push the right foot down. Spin the chest so left shoulder goes up towards the ceiling. Actively push down through that left heel, right foot. Inhale, reach left hand high to the sky. You can look up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor, depending upon how the neck feels. 4 breaths here in your triangle pose or Trikonasana. Next, exhale, you'll lower left hand down towards the floor, spin the left heel back behind you, step back, find a downward facing dog, however you'd like. Alternate heel to floor, really push the hands down and forward, send the heels down and back behind you. Maybe you bend the knees, relax the head between the arms. 4 deep breaths here, noticing how the body feels, the rate of your breath, and the presence of any thoughts. Next, exhale, you'll lower the knees down towards the floor. Untuck the toes. Find child pose or balasana. Sink the hips towards the heels. Maybe you take the knees a little bit wider than the hips. Walk the hands down and forward. Sink forehead towards the floor. If the forehead doesn't meet the floor, remember you can always place a block or a blanket underneath the forehead to encourage hips towards the heels. 4 breaths here. Breathing into the low back. Option to stay here in the center, or you're going to move towards a side bend in your child's pose. So walk the hands over towards the right. Keep the left hand down, right hand on top. Exhale, sink left shoulder down and back towards the left knee. 3 to 4 breaths here. Breathing into the left side of the body. Next, inhale, walk the hands towards the center. And then over towards the left. Right hand stays down this time, left hand on top. Exhale, sink right shoulder down and back behind you. Breathe into the right side of the body. Another 3 deep breaths here. Next, inhale, you'll take the hands towards the center, sink the hips towards the heels, maybe 2 breaths, and then you'll walk the hands back towards the hips. Move any props that you might have out of the way, and we'll start to make our way onto the back. Once you're on the back, have the knees bent with the feet flat on the floor, and gently rock the legs side to side, trying to isolate the movement between the legs and the low back. So the low back stays heavy on the floor, legs just rock side to side. And then we're going to start to move into a shape that resembles a banana. So I want you to think of that in your mind while we do this. When you're ready, you'll push down through the feet, lift the hips up, take the hips over to the left side of your space, and then you'll straighten the legs more towards the right. So if you were laying on a mat, hips towards the left, legs towards the bottom right corner, and then you'll cross the left leg over the right and hook the left toes behind the right foot with the right toes up towards the ceiling. This might be enough of a stretch on the outside of the left leg. Try to keep the hips level on the floor. If this is okay and you want to keep going, you'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Take the right hand to the left wrist, and then exhale, pull the left wrist over to the right side of the mat or your space. Try to keep left shoulder heavy towards the floor. If it's difficult to relax left shoulder heavy, then you might take the side bend and make it a little less intense. Wherever you are, you have 4 to 6 deep breaths here, really trying to lengthen out the exhales, breathing into the left side of the body. Maybe you close the eyes. Next, exhale, you'll take hands down by the sides. Release the feet, put the feet back on to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips up. This time you're going to take them all the way over to the right. Doing the same thing other side. Reach the legs long. If you were laying on the mat, feet go towards the bottom left corner of the mat. Cross the right leg over the left and hook right toes behind the left foot, the left toes up towards the ceiling. Again, you can stay here, have the hips heavy towards the floor. You can always take the feet a little bit more towards the center, or you're going to add the upper body. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, take the left hand to the right wrist. As you exhale, pull the right wrist as far as you'd like towards the left. Try to keep the right shoulder down towards the floor. So if you're rounding the right shoulder up towards the ceiling, take the side bend and make it a little less intense. Another 4 to 6 long, deep breaths here, seeing if with each inhale you can breathe deep into the belly, feeling the belly rise and then the ribs expand out to the side. And then as you exhale, slowly drawing the belly button towards the spine, trying to make each exhale a little bit longer than the one before it. After your next exhale, you'll slowly release. Bring feet back down towards the floor. Hips can go towards the center, and then relax the arms down by the sides. Maybe you gently rock the knees side to side, checking in with how the low back feels. Then we'll move towards our spinal twist. So inhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Exhale, left knee over towards the right side. Try to keep the left shoulder heavy towards the floor. You can use that right hand to give yourself a little bit more pressure if you would like, and you need support underneath that left leg. Roll up your blanket or use a prop underneath left knee. 6 to 8 deep breaths here, allowing yourself to pick the best variation of your twist. And it can look a little different than what it normally looks like. Giving yourself permission to allow this practice to change day to day based on whatever is going on in life and in the body. Inhale, slowly come back towards the center. We'll do the same thing, other side. So first you'll hug the right knee in towards the chest. Bring it in as close as you'd like. Exhale, straighten the left leg, right leg over to the left. Try to keep right shoulder heavy. Use any props you might need underneath the right knee. You're welcome to explore how you have the arms, the face, to pick the best variation of this twist today. Allow the next 6 breaths to be the biggest, deepest of your practice so far. Maybe closing the eyes, signaling to the body that we're at the end of practice and getting ready for rest. Next inhale, you'll come back towards the center. You're welcome to do any last bit of movement you might need here. Maybe that's, again, rocking the knees gently side to side, checking in with the low back, seeing how the left and the right sides feel. And then you'll make your way into your final resting posture. And so this could be with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor, walk the feet a little bit wider, drop the knees in. Or you can straighten the legs out, feet out to the side, palms face up towards the ceiling. You might close the eyes or gently gaze at one spot, allowing yourself to add any support that you might need here. Today, for the breathing practice, we'll work on lengthening out the exhales. So you'll inhale for 4 and then exhale out for a count of 8. If at any point you start to feel anxious, lightheaded, or dizzy, please return back to a more normal way of breathing for you. And know that there can be so many things happening in life and in the body that make it difficult to change the rate of your breath. So if that's you today, practice patience and kindness with yourself. So when you're ready, you'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Long inhale. Nice long exhale. With each next exhale, allow yourself to feel more supported by the ground and any props you might have beneath you. So that as you continue to exhale, you might allow yourself to sink into this support. So that as the body starts to feel more comfortable, supported, you might eventually relax and release any remaining tension that it's holding onto. So that in time you might find this state of being that's right before you fall asleep, where the body is heavy, fully relaxed, resting, almost sinking into the support that is beneath it. The mind is calm, present. If it's difficult to quiet the mind, you might imagine each thought as it comes up, floating down a river or on a leaf in the wind, or whatever imagery helps you allow the thought to float out of the mind. So that you can take these next 2 to 3 minutes to rest and recover here. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. With your next inhale, notice how the belly or the chest rises. With your next exhale, notice how they fall. So that as you bring awareness to the movement of the breath, you allow yourself to come back into this current moment. So you can slowly start to wake yourself up. You might wiggle the toes, the fingers, circle the wrists, the ankles. Maybe you rock the head side to side or stretch overhead. Any movement that might feel good here. So that when you're ready, you'll start to roll to one side, taking a breath or two there. And eventually pushing yourself up into a comfortable seat in the center of your space, where you might close the eyes or gently gaze down at the nose. Wherever you are, I encourage you to take a moment or two here to observe how the body and the mind now feel at the end of your practice. And it can be as simple as different or same. You're always welcome to bring the palms together to touch, thumbs in front of the heart space. You might take this time to thank yourself for showing up to your mat, for dedicating this time to yourself and to your practice. But most of all, I would encourage you to thank your body for what it has allowed you to do today. When you're ready, you'll slowly start to blink the eyes open. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me guide your practice today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.